I look like a fucking nerd right now. My glasses and shit. If you wear glasses, your IQ points instantly raise. This is how I usually look, but these are blue light blockers. They're pretty shit ones, I think. They're not really that orange. I don't really see much of a difference. But it is what it is. I do things like this because sleep's real important, recovery is really important. Having bad sleep, man, that can ruin so much. Not ruin, because ultimately you want a mindset that is always promoting the ultimate productivity. But you don't want to be fucking yourself up more than necessary. Sleep's one of those things that if you're constantly disrespecting it, you will get disrespected as well from your body. I know a lot of guys as well in the coaching business who sleep is like one of those things, and this is so crazy actually in today's day and age. They sometimes, that would be promoting getting less sleep. Like that would be a thing that they were proud of. I'm like, dude, if you have less sleep, your productivity is way worse. It's way worse. And you think that's cool and you're spreading that message? Like you live a shorter life, your productivity is worse, your decision-making abilities are affected, energy levels are wrecked. In what way is that better? Me personally, if I'm at a point with work and it's not absolutely urgent, but I have the option to do it and stay up later and ruin my sleep, or wake up early and just do it in the morning, I'll do it in the morning. It took me a while to get to that point. But man, there's so many things nowadays, hustle culture and certain people and you gotta be careful which mentors you choose. Because I love mentors, I believe in mentors. But sometimes you can choose mentors who teach the wrong message. Now, how do you know if it's the right or the wrong message? Unfortunately, that's something that you'll have to develop. Intuition and experience will give you a better idea of this. Because in a way, you don't know what you don't know. But yeah, I remember when I was going through a bunch of mentorships, I would always, because you are in a way valuing their opinion more than your own for a certain period of time. But then you hit a point to where you start valuing your own more. And you'll hear certain advice and you're like, no, that doesn't align. That doesn't align. That's when you can really start stepping into being a man, your own man. Is you start actually making decisions on your own behalf. You're less easily influenced. So for a lot of people, they're not far ahead enough in the game to be doing that as much and trusting that. And they do need to just listen to some people and do it. But then eventually, once you hit a point, you got to start trusting your own word a lot more. Now, if you have great intuition, some people can just do that very quickly. My experience, I had to go through the former version first. Growing up, I didn't have enough of a backbone or self-confidence to really trust myself. Some people had that just easily. I didn't. So it took me a bit longer to go through those steps and then build my value and then realize how I wanted to be making certain decisions in my life. To the point where now it's like, fuck you, I'm gonna go to sleep. Don't tell me to stay up. Don't call me a loser if that's something that I'm gonna do. Because it's simply and objectively is a worse strategy right now. So you, in a way, like in this world, it's your rules. Like you can do it. You can take inspiration from mentors, the right mentors. I'm always listening to the right people, don't get me wrong. But then you ultimately make the decision yourself if it's the right one or not. And the further you get down that journey, the better you will get at making those decisions based off of your intuition and your experience. And your intuition will develop the more experience that you have. So yes, there is a phase in the beginning where sometimes I would look at some people and say, no, don't listen to yourself right now. Don't listen to those, because some people think it's intuition, but in reality it's just like a a short-term pleasure that they're chasing. Oh, it feels right. It's like, that's just the dopamine you're chasing. When I talk about listening to yourself, I'm talking about that deep voice that tells you to get up to, before your alarm. I'm talking about that voice, completely different. Some people don't even, aren't even aware that voice exists. They're just kind of aware of it, but they're not really aware of it. Like, they know it, but they don't know. And so someone calls it out and they're like, oh wait, yeah, there is a voice there. It's very interesting. But ultimately, yes, you got to get around the right people. And then over time, you get better at filtering who the right people are. So yeah, today is a interesting day. Today I had very much a large energy crash. I've been pushing hard in business and just body absolutely had it. I pushed a session this morning and I knew it wasn't time to push. I stepped back a little bit. I lowered the training intensity, did the sauna right after, and then as soon as I got home, I just laid. I never do that. I'm always like, got to do something. I just laid. Put on like a little podcast and I just shut my eyes, It's been a very long time since that's happened. But what I've learned during those periods of time, and this was insanely, I'm very happy that I've learned this lesson, is that when you're in those periods, you have to kind of nurture yourself to a degree. I never used to nurture that. And I wouldn't say I was still finding ways to be somewhat productive, but that for probably a 2-hour time frame, I was like, no. I'm lying down, I'll put a podcast on, let me just be here right now. My mind and my body was absolutely wrecked. Mind could still work, and it was, that's why I put the podcast on. But I allowed myself physically to rest. And interestingly enough, I had the remainder of the day insanely productive because I listened to myself. I listened to what the body was saying. And yeah, I just wrapped up the last call. We got a new member into the Fit Boss coaching team, new client. And I'm looking forward to see their results, their progress. So this guy specifically, he's in the nursing space. It's unfortunate because his schedule's whack. It's whack, man. Especially a lot of people who do nursing. Wild hours. I respect you guys. You guys see some crazy shit. You become numb because of all the shit that you have to see to be dealing with that job. Yeah, so I'm really happy to see him sign on just because I know the change it's going to make for him, especially mentally. He's kind of going through a repetitive phase in nursing right now and just, detrimenting his health the whole way through. So it's time to really fit something time efficient, effective. Make sure the game plan around the nutrition as well. We're fixing his metabolism. It's pretty wrecked at the moment, so he puts weight on real easy. He doesn't even eat much based on what he's saying. Sometimes clients think they're not eating much, but then when we look at it, we're like, what about this? So, yeah. Now I'm excited. We're going to set him up with a good game plan. It becomes very much predictable once you know the right things to look at. And then we assess. I got coaches in the business as well, but we assess the client, their lifestyle, the goals, time frame, and then we design something to fit that accordingly. And then every single week we're monitoring and adjusting, course correcting until they get to where they want to be. That's the beauty, it's extremely customized. And yeah, you got to be in this world. You got to be, because things change. People get laid off from jobs. That's another crazy thing, is how easy sometimes I see people getting laid off from jobs. And I'm like, that's why you need to be a top fucking performer. So people don't want to lay you off. You got to be so in your game. Because if people aren't productive, they're not a valuable asset to the company, to the point where the company's like, hey, even if they're not good for this job, I want that person for this position. You got to be so good, physically fit, mentally fit, productive, that they want you in the company regardless. So you're never going to become redundant, or you massively reduce your chances. And I see it happen all the time. People just lay it off like flies, man. It's crazy. So that's why you need to be healthy. You need to be in shape physically and mentally. You got to be productive. You got to build your career. You got to do it all. And in this day and age where things are constantly adapting, you need to constantly adapt. And that's why our plans constantly adapt. It's never the same. It's bullshit if anyone tells you here's a custom plan, here's a cookie cutter plan and you can get the best of the best. It doesn't work like that. I did that for over 2 years. I was 64 kgs trying to build some muscle, lose fat, and I thought I had to lose fat. 2 years I stayed the exact same weight until I really got a customized approach. Then I got to 80 kgs of like proper muscle. So yeah, it's got to be customized. It's got to be adapted. I made that mistake of just trying to be cheap about it. No, premium with everything you do. Premium with the fitness, premium with business, premium with your mindset, spirituality. You do it properly. You build the foundation strong. You don't try to, there's a saying, the poor man pays twice, right? So do it once and do it for all. Do it properly. But yeah, I'm gonna clock off. It's time to eat, it's night time. And then I shall see you in the next one. Hope this one helps. Keep rocking.